A wise man once said not to be afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness,
and some have greatness thrust upon them. This is a quote that I have remembered ever since I was a little kid, that I'll tell one day to future generations of people. If anybody asks me where that came from, I'll point them to Esther, the girl who became queen, a VeggieTales episode from 2000 that I consider to be a masterpiece. The production of this episode came at a weird time for Big Idea, but it made for a compelling retelling of the original Bible story that I have grown up to know and love. Now I'm going to share the tale onto you about why and how this biblical adaptation is an absolute cinematic masterpiece, because you and the whole world deserve to know. People say that sometimes the story behind a creation can be more interesting than the actual story, but I think the making of this adaptation is about as interesting as the story itself. In 1993, Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki created the iconic Christian computer animated series known as VeggieTales. It combined the valuable life lessons of biblical principles with absolute silliness and did amazing retellings of the Bible stories in pop culture. By the late 90s, Phil wanted to make an animated feature-length movie of the series, but complications led to production on the movie getting delayed. Meanwhile, letters kept coming in about how there were very little to no strong female characters in VeggieTales, with parents wanting a strong female character for a role model. So they decided on two Bible stories, Ruth and Esther, with the latter beating the former. It was a stepping stone for the team to get a more feature-length quality product, with more detailed backgrounds and music. Character designer Joe Sapulik designed the character after her daughter, who believed Esther didn't look like her. The animation done on her hair was the most painful thing for the animators to do due to problems with the lighting system, including shadows. But despite that, the video was finished and released on September 14, 2000, to a mixed reception, probably due to how serious it was compared to the previous episodes. The story is about a girl named Esther, who ends up as the new queen of Persia. But the problem is that she didn't want to be where she is now. Yet God brought her there for a reason. She just doesn't know what it is or what to do yet. After the guard Mordecai, cousin of Esther, saved the king's life, the king's right-hand man, Haman, got jealous and concerned that the king would like Mordecai more than him, and jeopardize his position as the second-in-command. So Haman tricked the king into signing an edict where in a few days, Mordecai, Esther, and their whole island would be banished to the island of perpetual tickling, a place where you get tickled for all eternity without stop, not even if you say pretty please. When Mordecai sees the edict, he explains to Esther to see the king to do something about this, and in order to save the family, thanks to her power as queen, showcasing how this could be the reason that God brought her there in the position that she's in. After some failed attempts, she finally gained the courage to do the right thing, and exposed Haman for the person that he is. The king sentenced Haman to the island as banishment instead. Following afterwards, Mordecai got promoted to Haman's old job as the second-in-command of the whole kingdom. The family was saved thanks to Esther, following through with God's plans for her, and gaining the courage to do what's right. When you talk about VeggieTales to people nowadays, you will see people who remember the episode fondly, and people who still don't like the episode's more serious nature. But that was the point of the making of this episode. It's supposed to take an important story about a strong female role model seriously. The story might not be told completely accurately, but every episode of VeggieTales does this. I mean, this is a kid's show after all, so stuff like the execution had to be modified to appeal to a younger demographic. Oh yeah, because in the original story, instead of an island of perpetual tickling, they all would have gotten hanged. Spoilers. But despite that, the parts that they added barely changes the story's tone, with some even adding more to the story and its message, and the rest of the story they adapted perfectly. The animation may seem dated to a lot of people, and granted some of it is, but for the time, as per usual with these episodes, it looks very impressive, especially with Esther's hair, since Hair is one of the most difficult things to ever animate. Monsters Inc. didn't even come out by this point. And the music. Oh my gosh, the music. The music really gives an epic cinematic feel to the episode that fits perfectly in this biblical adaptation, while also giving off a little bit of that VeggieTales vibe to make the music fit. Kurt Heineke really nailed it with the music here, the composer behind most of these VeggieTales episodes of the classics. I even imagine the music and songs in my head whenever because of how much of a bop it is. The opening music really lets you know how important the following story is going to be, giving off a Godfather-like vibe as the camera zooms in to the king's palace. Tell Me Why represents something that everybody has felt at least once in their life. Questions about why we are where we are, and why we are here. What is the reason behind our life? Lost Puppies is the silliest song of the episode, but it fits the episode perfectly and gives that missing vibe of VeggieTales that classic VeggieTales fans would miss. Not to mention that the song is a bop. Now, the battle prelude is something special. This is his first song inside of the episode that especially makes you go, wow, this is actually really beautiful. Why am I feeling emotional from this song? That's because it's an appetizer to the main course of the movie soundtrack that'll represent the message of the episode, not to mention the gorgeous sound of the guitar that plays in the song. Haman's song is the villain song of the episode, and it gets the job done, explaining the villain's plan and causing the main conflict of the story. Then there's the main song, the main chorus. The battle is not ours. Where do I even begin with this musical masterpiece of cinema? Oh, I'll tell you. The song starts off as a reprise of Tell Me Why, representing that moment of our lives where we are trapped in a corner despite already questioning ourselves, wondering what to do now.
Tell me why I don't understand. Tell me why, or show me your hand. Tell me why, because I can't see my way through. What now should I do?
But then, the song changes. The music gets less sad and more moody and empowering. Then the lyrics play, and the lyrics are where the message is revealed to the audience again. Esther sings about how this difficult battle that goes on inside of our minds is not ours. We need to look up to God to be guided safely through the journey, because the guide safely through this battle is done by God's side of love. The music reaches one of its peak moments in this song, and it shows. And yes, I did say moments. The song is a beautiful message to people to not be afraid, nor run and hide. It empowers us to follow God and to do the right thing. We have all been through a lot in our lives, so to know that God is there to protect and influence us all is just such an amazing feeling, learning and knowing what's right. That's why whenever I have anxiety, or feelings of pain and suffering, This will always be one of the songs that I will listen to in order to get me through it, while also praying to the Lord. This battle is not ours. We need to look up to God above to guide us safely through.
And guard us with His love.
The VeggieTales adaptation of Esther will always be one of the best ones ever. The production story behind it was a journey. It adapts one of the most powerful and heroic stories of the Bible and pulls into our heartstrings with the message that the episode gives. Now look, besides Jesus, no one's perfect. Not even somebody like Moses. We weren't born for greatness. We didn't go to school for it. We just need to know that sometimes God has plans so big, only He can see them. All we have to do is put our faith in Him and spread the word. Now always remember that when you're having feelings of fear, anxiety, pain, and suffering, you know that God will guide us safely through and guard us with His love. Because a heal can come from anyone, even you.